Alright. Looks like this is gonna be my second time recording this. So sorry for that. But I'm just gonna cover the rigging part at this point because I'll go over the model optimizations in a different video. Right now, we're gonna do the rigging. I already rigged it before, as you can see, but now I'm going to re-rig the second recording. Okay, so Shift A, armature, single bone. Alright, we got an armature in. Let me just rename that. Anyways, let me delete all these shape keys. Alright, so first of all, you know what, I'll leave it doesn't matter. First of all, tab into edit mode in these bones, okay? Click in front, B bone. No, I mean stick. I use stick. Yep. Make sure you've got snap on. You don't have to have snap on, but I find it easier. So we're going to extrude. I'm going to press E to extrude from the main bone for the head bone. Now you might be like, oh, what do I do now? Do I just go Shift A, another armature? No, don't do that. Tab back in, Shift A. Bam, another bone. You don't have to make like 3,000 armatures. So we're going to rotate it 90 degrees, and we're going to do the arms now. Don't worry about this side, just this side for now. So first things first, you may be thinking, like your instinct might go, oh, okay, so I got to do the ball joint, I got to do that, and I got to do the ball joint. No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to. If you want to, go right ahead. I don't care. But if I'm going to help you make it easier for yourself, so you don't have as many mental breakdowns and you don't start smashing shit upstairs because I can fucking hear it. I know what you do up there. Jesus Christ. I hear it all the goddamn time. Anyways. Bone. That's the whole reason I'm making this video, by the way, is because my brother keeps smashing shit. Just stop. Anyways. Bone. Arm. Ball joint. Joint. Ball joint or limb. And then you have the start of this entire bone, because this entire bone is going to cover both of them. It's going to start at this ball joint, and it's going to go throughout this limb to the next ball joint where the next ball joint starts. And we're going to extrude off that to this next ball joint, which is the hand. Then we're going to extrude from that again. Going to go from the ball joint to the limb. And we're done for the arm. Don't worry about the other arm right now. Just follow. So we're going to rotate this bone 180 degrees. Or negative 180. Because if we don't, I found a problem where it gets really funky if you don't do it that way. So we're just going to center this bone in the middle of the limb. Now there isn't a ball joint here, so we're just going to pretend there's an imaginary ball joint. And we're going to go to the next ball joint. By the way, if your character doesn't have ball joints, don't worry. Just imagine what a ball joint would be on an action figure. Imagine them like an action figure. This is like for segmented characters, like Super Mario 64 style, you know? Pardon me. Anyways. We're going to then do the same Go down here. You might be keen to go all the way to the flat bit of the foot, but don't. Don't go to the flat bit of the foot. It's not necessary, you don't need to do that. I'm going to press E. I'm going to extrude to the toe, or a bit behind it. If you have extra geometry for a toe, you can add a toe bone. But anyways, here is our armature, or the base of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the thigh bone. I'm going to shift click the main bone. I'm going to press Ctrl P, keep offset. Now what that does is, in this hierarchy here, so this is the arm bone, this is the main bone, is once you parent them together, this bone will always follow behind this bone. So if you wanted an item in your hand, you had a bone, make sure that the parent of that bone is the hand. So the leg is parented to the body, and the arm is parented to the body also, but I'm going to add a shoulder bone. This is optional, you do not have to add this. I'm adding this merely for demonstration. So this is a shoulder bone. Shift A, no, not Shift A, Control P, keep offset. So upper arm, shoulder, shoulder, main. Now, if we take a look in our hierarchy here, it's going to look a bit messy. So what we're going to do is we're going to name them. So, first bone I like to name is pelvis. Pelvis. If I can fucking spell it. Pelvis. But that's kind of inaccurate. So I'm going to name it chest. If you've got multiple... Usually how it goes is you'll have pelvis, spine, however many spines you have, torso or chest. Actually that would be chest, because torso is that whole area. And then you'd have a neck, and then you go up to head. But since we don't really have that for Cloddy, we're going to name it chest, and then we're going to go straight up to head. And then we're going to go name this. I'm going to name it shoulder. Don't worry about left or right, okay? Don't worry about left or right. Just name it shoulder. I'm going to name this upper arm. We're going to name this one lower arm. We're going to name this one hand or wrist. You can name these whatever you want, just make sure you name them. Then we're going to do the legs, thigh, calf, or calf, like the baby cow, and foot. And a toe, if you've got a toe. If you do have fingers, good fucking luck, because that's a nightmare. Anyways, you're like, oh, what about this side of the model? We haven't done this side, it's not complete. My OCD is killing me. Okay. Select everything that needs to be mirrored on the other side. Maybe like, oh well, if I just like had this on a separate armature, then I could just go into the mirror modifier and then like mirror it to the other side. Well, one, no you can't, because there's no modifier for the armature. Two, pardon me, in edit mode, with all the bones, select the bones that are going to have a mirrored version. Go into armature, go to names, auto name left right. You'd be like, well, what did that do? Added a .l on the side, or a .r depending on what side it is. You're then going to want to click symmetrize. That will mirror all of the bones you've done on the right to match all the bones you've done on the left. You may be like, oh, that's great. And, you know, you may have realized you've screwed something up. Don't worry, you can press this little butterfly here, and it will move both bones on both sides if you need to make an adjustment. Anyways, now we've got all of our hierarchy beautifully organized, okay? That's beautiful. Don't ever fuck that up. Additionally, name your meshes. Okay, now what are we going to do? How are we going to get it so when we move the body, or the armature, it moves Cloddy, or our mesh? So I'm going to tab into Cloddy, and we're going to go to X-ray mode. Shortcut is Alt-Z. I don't use it, I just go up here to click it, but you can use the shortcut if you like. We're going to select as much as we can of the head. Doesn't have to be all of the head. Just make sure you've got all the necessary parts of the head in. Press Ctrl L. That will select everything within there. Absolutely everything within the head bone, or the head geometry. This only really works if your mesh is segmented. But I just realized I forgot something, and that's assigning our skeleton to our mesh. So we're going to click the mesh, shift click the skeleton. We're going to do, if your mesh is connected, you just press automatic weights and you can go watch a video on weight painting, but we're not doing that, so that's not what I'm covering. So I'm going to cover only meshes with segmented joints, which would probably be your first model. It would be a good idea to have that as your first character. Anyways, go down to armature deform. Under that, press with empty groups. Now with empty groups won't apply weights anywhere. So if we go in to our model, we go into the weight paint thing, we click any of these bones, nothing's there. It just adds it to the data. Now we press tab on our model. So we have the head bone selected. Let's find the head. Here's the head. So we've got the head selected in data, and we also have the head bone selected in data, and we have our head vertices, or what makes up our head, selected in the layout view, or the object view, whatever. So do not worry about this weight thing. It will be a slider, but just keep it at 1 at all costs. If you've accidentally pressed or you can't control Z for some reason, press A on everything, go through all of these bones, click remove, remove. That will just make sure all of the vertex data is removed. And the data, the vertex data, these are vertex groups, and when you assign a certain bit of geometry to a vertex group, the corresponding bone from that vertex group will move said geometry around with a part of a slight bit of weight. So anyways, head, select all the head geometry, assign. We can tab out for a sec to see what that did. Go to the head bone. Beautiful. Moves every single part of the head bone. Absolutely beautiful. Great. Tab back in. Let's get the rest of the body done. So we'll select what makes up the body. We're going to do chest. That's the chest. Now, I've added shoulders, but I'm not going to worry about assigning the shoulders to anything. This is a good example of, you can have extra bones, but not every bone has to have a piece of geometry it affects. So if you don't want it to, a certain piece of geometry, but you want it to affect other bones, you can leave it. Okay, so we got the chest and the head. So I'm just going to select, you can go to the data tab and use this to select chest and head, and press H. You go oh, but what if I want it back? Alt H, okay? H to hide, Alt H to unhide, okay? And we're going to focus on the limbs. So for me, because my character is facing the negative Y direction, this is the left side. So if your forwards is negative Y, this will be your left. Go to your bones if you're not sure. Click a bone that you've auto-named. Click it, shows the name up here. 1 armature upper arm .l. That's all we need to know. .l, this is .l. So select the parts that you need. Control L. We've got upper arm .l, this is the geometry we want to be assigned to upper arm .l. Assign that. Go to the geometry we want for the lower arm, assign it. Go to the geometry we want for the hand, assign it. Now, I'm gonna breeze through this real quick. I'm just gonna do thigh L. Select this. This is calf L. And then these two things down here will be foot L. And then we need to go to the right side. Beautiful. You're done. And you're done. If you know the reference, you know. Anyways. Now, you can go to pose mode by clicking the skeleton, pose mode, boom. Click one of the bones, move it around, see what it does. This is the shoulder bone. Whoa, 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 and bam, you've got your armature basically done. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Nice. Congratulations, give yourself a pat on the back, you've rigged it properly and you haven't just gone and clicked armature G form like a fool. Pat on the back, you've done it. Alright, I'm gonna edit this video and be in pain for the next like 20 minutes. So have fun with your newly rigged mesh, and I'll see you in another video if I make another video. I'll probably make one about model workflow and, you know, optimizing your models, not having a shit model, like not having these all in 5,000 different parts. I mean, you can have your entire model in like 5,000 different parts and then still put it in the armature. I've done that sometimes, but it's good if you can have it all in just one mesh. You know? Organized, clean, beautiful. So thanks for watching, and like it if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, comment or something, subscribe, whatever, and I'll see you in the next one.